YouTube, always in our first heat, and it's time to breed her. Look at this stud that I'm a breeder to. I'm LB the Breeder. Welcome back to my channel. O, aka O Thing, aka Omeara, is in her first heat, man. And if you think I'm about to breed her in her first heat, man, you out your mind. You come on, man. We not doing that over here in this camp, doing goofy stuff. Man, she only 10 months, so even if she do have puppies, I can't even register them. You know, they do. Does allow accidental breedings and stuff like that for one time. But we're not doing that. We're not even worried about that. We ain't breeding her. She ain't getting bred. None of that, man. And we ain't breeding her to no BS either. So y'all go ahead and get that about the. I just have to play with y'all a little bit and let you know. But man, I'm not doing no mediocre BS breedings, and we ain't breeding her to the first heat, man. She will be most likely, as long as everything goes right, she will be getting bred 2025, man. Oh, we'll be getting bred 2025. So if you're looking for quality and you want quality, continue to look out for my updates on these breedings and the update videos and stuff like that, man. Stay tuned in. Man, you can go ahead and check me out too on IG at OP Bullies. I do updates on there too with photos, and I try to create content over there too, man. So go ahead and follow me. Tap that subscribe button, man. Like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Look, man, I already been looking at fire little studs that I want to try to breed, who I want to try to breed O to, right? So I've been having that in mind, but I just recently ran across a young stud, and I don't know, man. I'm really liking him. I still got to continue to do more research on him. Look at his productions, pay attention to the camp and see what they got going on, man, and try to, man, see if that's something I want to lock in. I got a few, studs that I got in mind that I want to breed her to. So we gonna stay on the lookout for that, man. We're gonna make sure we stay on the lookout for that. And the blood that for that stud, that's how I was looking at that. Blood lines up perfectly because it's almost the blood lines up perfectly. O is a champion homicide daughter, and then her mom is a big red daughter, bred to Grand Champion El Toro's son. So we got some nice blood, man. We got some nice blood over here. We ain't got no BS backyard. My mama, homie, cousin, relative, dogs that I bred to, with the little man, we got some quality bulls over here, man. We got some quality bloodlines, and we're gonna put it together and we're gonna breed it right. And as long as I have the right type of little blood that I want to work with and the look that I want to work with, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that I line that blood up and those breedings up so I can be consistent with the look that I'm going for. Um, O is like a split image to me of her mom, right? Of Miss Jackson. O is pretty much like a split image. They have a lot more similarities than not, right? Even the way that they're growing and all that stuff. But so as far as like the color, her stripe on her face is a lot more wider, and I think it might be on the other side of her face. But Jackson also has a white stripe going down on her face. They both blue tribe, but O has a white mark on her neck too, a white mark, white patch stripe or whatever going on her neck. But they both got white paws. Like they tribe marks is pretty much the same and all of that stuff, right? But so the difference between and that I'm glad that it did work out for me this way is O is a more compact and shorter version of Jackson. Her back is shorter, and then I think O might be like either an inch or a half an inch shorter than Miss Jackson. Miss Jackson is 14 inches, so O is probably like 30. She got to be like 13 inches or 14 because I don't really know exactly what Jackson's measurements is at 14. I haven't measured Jackson since she was like a year and some change or something like that. And I remember she was like, I can't remember. It was like 14, 2/3. I don't know. I can't remember what her exact measurements was, but I'm gonna go ahead and have to give me a wicket or something so I can make sure I get these exact measurements, man, for these dogs. So I want to be able to line her up. Oh, so not only did she has a shorter back, and she's shorter. O has a shorter muzzle than Jackson. That whole litter has a shorter muzzle than Jackson, which Champion Homicide was able to do for my camp, and I'm glad because I'm not going for a terrier more look. You know, I'm going for that real bully type of look. I want to be able to have a big blockier head. She's always a female. She's not going to have the biggest head. But my boy, her brother, Prince, he got dome. He got his head is bigger than everybody. So him and Kodak, right? Kodak is a champion homicide son too that I have over here in my camp. He's the older brother, so he's from my past litter, and then I did another litter with champion homicide, and so where I got and I got Prince, right? So I ain't gonna lie, Prince is probably if he not he his head for sure already bigger than Kodak's, but he might be bigger already than Kodak. If not, he about to be probably within a month. He probably gonna be for sure bigger than him. If he probably already for sure way more than him because he's a lot more wider. He's a lot more stockier. So another thing too, though, right? So when you have a female that's in heat, you want to be able to pay attention to how her heat cycle goes, right? So look, you want to be able to pay attention to how her heat cycle goes. So the next time she comes in the heat, that you or the time when it comes for her to be able to be bred, you start having a pattern and giving an understanding of how her heat cycle is going. So whether her vulva is swelling up when you started noticing that, and then when she started to bleed, you want to be able to mark when you see that first sign of blood, right? Just mark it down, write it down on the calendar. I made a marking on I use my iPhone, and so I'm be paying attention to the color, paying attention to when it starts to water up, paying attention to her vulva, see if her vulva swells up more, like if it really swells up and then it goes down, to really start noticing when her ovulation is coming in, and then also too when her vulva starts to swelling starts to go down. Once the swelling is gone, that lets you know that pretty much is she could be uh her heat cycle is pretty much gone and the ovulation period is over with. And then when you got boys in the house, so Kodak is definitely a detector. He is an ovulation detector, and most male dogs that's mature is. And when I had the last breeding, um, to be honest, I think I had did my PG testing, and then like the weekend came or something like that. But he definitely let me know that weekend that his mom was ovulating for sure. He goes crazy when they ovulate. So right now he's just been sniffing her. He kind of been on her and stuff like that, and it's that's how I started noticing that her heat was coming because he started sniffing behind her before she even started to swell up. And then I'm like, okay, I'm paying attention. And then she swelled up, right? I'm like, oh, I knew it. And so boom. And then I started noticing he started getting up in her more. So now and then boom, she started to bleed. I'm like, okay, cool. I already knew that it was coming. Her heat cycle was about to start coming. So you got to start paying attention to those certain signs. She haven't started ovulating, I don't think. But today he finally started trying to hump her, mount her, or whatever you want to call it. So it lets me know it's starting to get closer and closer to ovulation, man. Some dogs could ovulate fast within their heat cycle, and some take a long time. So you got to start paying attention to that. Start paying attention to them signs. And one thing that I have going on, so when you got males, more than one male in the same household, camp, whatever, kennel, wherever you got your dogs, and you have a female heat, man, it can start a disruption in your programming. And brothers, they can, males, brothers, whatever, they can get into it. So what I'm starting to notice is Prince, he's thinking that, oh, it's like that's his possession. So when Kodak be trying to be on her, here come Prince and he running and getting on top of him. So you got to be mindful. So not only, so I put a little pamper pad, one of them little ones that you get from Amazon. I put a link in the description, man, for females that when they be in heat, man, you can cop those. It's washable, you can use. But so she has that on, so he can't mount her at all, right? Even if I'm not right there at the moment. But don't leave them females alone with the males because it's definitely gonna be a disruption. So when I'm moving around and stuff like that, and I'm not right there, I gotta toss her in the cage, or I gotta toss one of the other I got tossed one of the males in a crate or whatever the case is because you don't want to have no accidental fights or anything like that. They all my dogs that I have, they definitely get along, but that can change the dynamic of your camp. And then you already know once your dogs have a little altercation and there's blood drawn, it might not be no getting back to. So just be smart with what you're doing. Just be on point and pay attention to these females in this camp, the females and the males in your camp when these heat cycles go on. I think her and Jackson, that should be cool. Jackson, she kind of be doing her own thing, so I don't really think her heat cycle is going to throw off or make her, get into it with her mom or anything like that. Like how, sometimes that can happen too as well, man. So just be mindful and be cautious what you got going on in your camp, man. Don't be no goofy breeder, man, and just don't be paying attention to nothing, going about your day, not doing your research, man. There's so much information out here that you can stay on point with what you got going on, man. Stay on point with what you got going on, man. To you breeders, man, right? If y'all out there, not breeders, so to the people that's out there buying puppies and you looking for future puppies, man, if you paying at least $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for some BS, and maybe y'all don't know what's BS or not, man, but I'm telling you, we're gonna continue to produce some stuff, and man, it's way too many quality bulls out there to be buying the dogs that y'all buying. I can't dictate what y'all like. That's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to dictate is quality. I want y'all to make sure that y'all out there buying quality, right? Because you got people that's out here breeding and doing a gang of breedings, and they dogs just it's mediocre. Man, I seen a breeder, right? I seen a breeder who said my dog structure is on point, right? And they literally showed the dog like, and the dog structure was not on a point. But people, maybe if people that's watching that, they're like, oh yeah, the dog structure on point, and he's showing you. But somebody like me, I know that's not on point. You feel me? Feet, if somebody telling your dog's feet is their feet is real good and their feet is turning like this or turning like that or turning like that, that's not the best feet. I'm not saying you can't better breed that or you're not supposed to breed that. I'm not saying none of that. I'm just saying you can't be declaring that your dogs have the perfect type of structure. You saying they ain't got no high rear and a butt is way up in the sky, man. Come on, man. So y'all gotta pay attention to the people that y'all out there paying that's out there doing them breedings, and they misleading y'all, man, because y'all don't really understand. You feel me? And maybe they just too talking too fast and don't understand what's coming out their mouth, but we gonna show y'all, you feel me, what quality is supposed to look like, and I'm gonna continue. Like I said, like I always say, man, I am a new breeder, but I'm making sure I'm coming with quality. I'm spending the money that's need to be, because you can't. When it comes to these dogs, when it comes to these dogs, if you not spending the quality money, not quality money, if you're not spending the money that's needed, you feel me, and you trying to do slick stuff and try to cut corners, them breeders ain't gonna work out like you want to, man. They're not gonna work out like you want to, man. And your breeders is, your dogs is gonna be super mediocre. And then people, what they be doing is, people don't even try to better their camp. They be so scared and afraid to go outside of their camp and bring in some newer blood, and it's just a cycle of mediocre, BS, and then what you're really doing is you watering down your dogs. So man, stay on point, man. Y'all pay attention to these breeders, man. Y'all already know, man. I'm coming with the quality, man. I'm gonna continue to drop videos and stuff like that, man. On one of my last vlogs, people was like, man, I had a few commentators that saying, man, we want to see the dogs, man. I got dogs over here, and my dogs is quality, but at the same time, man, I'm also showing the day in the life as an actual breeder, man, and what we go through, man. So I have a lot of videos that I post, and I'm always continuing to post, man, and I will show my dogs a lot more. But I got videos with my dogs, man. We go on trails and all that, so you can't really judge you can't really judge a video off of just you can't really judge you can't really say that I don't show my dogs and I got a gang of other videos where I'm showing my dogs. And you gotta be smart about what you're doing, man. You gotta let your dogs develop too before you just be showing them off, and then you be looking your account be looking goofy. So sometimes I like to give my dogs some months to grow and mature and stuff like that. But I continue to give y'all some gems. You feel me? Because it's not just, to me, it's not all about just puppies, dogs, puppies, selling this. You feel me? This is a community where we can grow together, man, and we're gonna be doing different things over here. But like I said, man, y'all will continue to see my dogs, and I will continue to show y'all what I got going on in my camp, man. And this we're gonna work together, man. So like, comment, and subscribe to the content, man. I appreciate y'all that stay to the end of this video, man. Share this video, man, to people who's these newer breeders or people who need some game, man. So like, comment, and subscribe to the content, man. I'm LB the Breeder, and I'm out.